Well, the Department of Justice is investigating this weekend shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York as, quote, racially motivated violent extremism. So for more on what's happening with the investigation right now, I want to bring in Erie County, New York Sheriff John Garcia. His office is one of the agencies involved in the case. Thank you so much for joining us right now. You know, I can't imagine what you thought when you first heard about this incident. I just want to start off by getting your sort of basic reaction to the news that there was a mass shooting in a neighborhood in Buffalo, New York.
It was absolutely horrible. The horrific scene, as you can imagine, the damage that the rounds of an assault rifle do to a human body. And aside from the victims and their families, my concern is also to the deputies and the officers that responded to the scene.
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about the case where it stands so far. Officials are investigating this as a hate crime. The suspect pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder charges. What is next in this investigation?
Anne-Marie, it is straight up hate crime. An individual came in here, drove 3.5 hours into our community to spew hate and kill innocent people that were just shopping on a beautiful Saturday day in Buffalo. So he's going to appear in court today. He pled not guilty. I think obviously it's going to be a very tough job for the criminal defense attorney in this case. There's video evidence and there's many witnesses. And, you know, there's going to be two investigations, parallel investigations that are going to be led by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then also by local police, the Buffalo Police Department, and ourselves, along with the Erie County District Attorney's Office. In one case, the District Attorney's Office, the maximum penalty would be life without parole. In the case with the federal government, there is a chance for the death penalty, but I understand there is a moratorium that's been put in place by President Biden.
And we're also hearing from police that the suspect live streamed the attack on social media. What does that tell you about his motivation?
So disturbing. You know, he put a GoPro on his helmet, drove around the supermarket directly behind us. In fact, he did some reconnaissance the day before, and he picked out this location because it was a store that was frequented by African Americans. So his target was African Americans. His hatred was towards African Americans, Jews, and also immigrants. So, I mean, his state of mind, obviously he had some mental health issues last year. His post-graduation school project was murder and suicide. What does that tell you about an individual? So you have a mixture of the mental health and just pure evil. And this person was still available, had the availability to purchase these weapons, and I find that very disturbing. I am a pro-Second Amendment sheriff. People that legally own handguns are not the issue, but in this case, sadly, he fell through the cracks, and this is something we can't allow to happen again.
No, because, you know, falling through the cracks could be deadly. Now, here we have a suspect who, you know, you talk about red flags all over the place with this suspect. People still have to go on with their lives, though, in this community. They're going to have to get up and go to work. They're going to have to go to the grocery store, you know, take care of their children. They are going to be terrified. What do you say to people about whether or not their community is safe? Because at this point, it probably doesn't feel very safe to a lot of people.
No, obviously, you know, in a case like this is what terrorists do, right? They try to disrupt the lives of the average person and instill fear. And the store behind us is the only shopping center here in this community, and it's frequented by many people. We lost a life here, a retired Buffalo police officer working security, you know, trying to make a few extra bucks for his family, confronted the individual. and he shot at him, but the individual had a plate in his vest, and you know, it was basically a pea shooter against an assault rifle, and the assault rifle won that battle. But I'll tell you, Aaron Salter is a hero. He stopped this individual from continuing through the store, and this happened within a minute. Buffalo Police Department officers arrived on scene within a minute and a half, and they did what they're trained to do, was engage, confront, and as they confronted him, this individual had his assault rifles to his chin, and thank God he didn't level that and shoot both officers. He gave himself up, and thank goodness for that. So within 5 hours from the beginning of the shooting to him being in our custody at the Erie County Holding Center on suicide watch, 5 hours transpired. So law enforcement, first responders did a fantastic job, bravery, courage, but you know, this community, instead of rioting and so forth, came together peacefully, black, white, Hispanic. They did a march. People are angry, but I have to say that the pastors, the community, the mayor of the city of Buffalo, everybody calmed you know, the tensions down. And that's why we're here today, walking through the scene, for people to see that, you know, we're here to protect and serve.
Well, you know, you talk about just, it was a minute, not very much time. You can see how much damage was done, but also how much worse it could have been if not for the officers who jumped in, if not for that former officer who shot back. It is heartbreaking, and it angers me to hear about the suspect being better protected, better armed than the people we pay to protect us, who put their lives on the line. Sheriff John Garcia, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And, you know, our hearts and our thoughts and our prayers are with your community and also with your officers. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.